In this video, I'll show you how to create a collection in Lightroom. Collections are user-generated and are a good way of organizing images based on specific subjects or topics. Collections don't need to relate to a specific folder on your hard drive. They can relate to any group of images you think belong together. So I'm going to use a real-world example to show you how I use collections. These photographs were just imported straight out of the camera. Nothing's been done to them. They're untouched. One of the first things I do is I create a collection. So let me show you how I do that. I'm going to select all the photographs. This is before I do any of my culling or editing or sorting. I'm just going to create a collection. So Command or Control A. I've selected all the images that are related to that import. You can see there's 363 photographs and there's 363 of them selected. I'm going to come over here to the left panel and open up Collections, and I'm going to select the plus sign here over on the right. I'm going to create a collection, select that. Okay, so I'm going to give this a name, Michelle, that's the girl I photographed. Bunad, that's the name of the costume, the traditional Norwegian costume she's wearing. And these are all photos, so there's no editing going on. A top level placement, I want to be sure under collection options to select include selected photos. And I'm going to select create. Okay, so over here on the left now under collections, you can see a collection has been created with the name of the collection and how many photographs that are in that collection, all 363 of them. I'm going to take this number down to a reasonable number. But now I have all these photographs from this particular shoot all in one collection. And if I go into my catalog and open up all photographs, for example, I now have a way to very quickly go over to my collections and just find that specific shoot that I want to work on, which I'll do right now. Now only that collection is showing up in the preview window. So what I do next after I've done this is I will go through, and this is where I do the hard work. I need to cull these images down to a reasonable amount of images. You know, I'm not going to do that in front of you, but let me show you briefly what I might do. I will go ahead and go into the loop view, and I can give this picture a picked flag. I can click on this icon here. I could just select the P key. And I'm going to go ahead and move on through all these images. I'm just going to pick a few, the ones that I know that I want. There's a P, and I'll just keep going through P. I'll select just half a dozen or so, just to give you an idea how quick this process can be. Okay, there. Picked. Okay. And this is, like I said, the hard part. You get the idea. So I've made a selection of picks. Now I need to come over here and I need to filter just those images that I have selected as a pick. I'm going to right click here. Okay, and then flagged only. So now you can see the images that I have selected as a pick. Now the next thing to do for me in my workflow is to create another collection. Now this time I want to make sure to select all those that you can see down in the film strip. Command or Control A will select them all. And I'm going to come up under Collections and select the plus sign. I'm going to create another collection. And this time I'm going to call it Michelle Picks. And I want to make sure that under Collection Options, Include Selected Photos is checked. And I'll hit Create. Okay, so you can see now I have a collection called Michelle Picks that only contains those 5 images. Well, there'd be more than that if I was doing this for real. All the images that I've chosen as picks. And then over here, we have the full 363 photographs that are related to the photo shoot. Now, I might very well, after I've gone through, oops, I spelled her name wrong. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad I did that. So I can show you something that you can do here. By right-clicking on the name of the collection, I can rename it. I'm going to get that spelling right this time by hitting the E. You think I planned this ahead just so I could show you that little trick of right-clicking on the name, right? Right. Okay, so now we have Michelle Picks. And now these are all the photographs. At some point, I may very well decide that I got the pics, that's really what I want. Right click on this and I delete it. I can go ahead and do that. I'm going to do it right now, in fact, because it really only deletes the collection. It's not deleting the photographs. I can safely hit delete. The photographs still exist in my catalog, but they're just not in a collection, which I've deleted. Now, if I want to go back and, let's say, add some more pictures to the collection Michelle Pics, I'm going to go ahead and select all photographs. That's already selected. I didn't need to do that. Open up collections. I want to show you how easy it is to add photographs to a collection. Let's just say I decided, oh, there's another picture. I left that one out. I really need that one in the collection. So I'll select that, click on it, and drag, and then I'll just drop it in there. And now you can see that number went from 5 to 6. And I could have multiple images selected. Let's just say I want to take a series of photographs, and I can click and drag them into the collection itself as well. And if I decide at some point, let me go to that collection by clicking on it. Let's just say that I don't want a particular image as part of a collection. Let's say that one doesn't work for some reason or another. I just hit the delete key and it removes it from the collection. But I want to emphasize that it may have removed it from the collection, but it certainly hasn't removed it from my catalog. So one more thing as relates to collections. In the thumbnail, you see this icon down here in the lower right-hand corner. If I click on that, not right-click, but just click on it, it'll tell me that it's a part of a collection. It'll give me the name of the collection. And if it's in multiple collections, which you can very well do, you can have the same image in multiple collections, it'll show me all the collections that that particular image is associated with. And when I click on that collection, it'll take me automatically right to that collection. Okay, I want to show you one last thing having to do with collections, and that is how to create a collection set. So let's start off with another grouping of photographs. I'll come back here under all photographs, and let's just find some images kind of randomly here to work with. And I'm again looking at all the photographs in my catalog. Let me just find a series of photographs here that might be appropriate. Okay, I'll just take these here. These are a little bit different. These are Michelle with friend. So let me go ahead and make a selection of all of these photographs. And I'm going to create another collection by, remember, clicking on the plus sign, create collection. And I'll just call this one Michelle with friend and include selected photographs. Now I have two collections. And I want to create a collection set that those collections will reside in. I'm going to click on the plus sign again. Now I'm going to create a collection set. And this time I'll give it a name. I'll just call it, well, these are taken in Norway, so let me just call it Norway. Norway photos. And we want to put it next to the collection. None of this matters right now. The important thing is just give it a name and select create. And you can see there that we have a new collection. This is going to be our main collection set. And I'm going to go ahead, and it looks different. You can see the icon is different. That designates that it's a collection set. Now I want these two collections to be part of that collection set. So I'm going to start off by selecting this one, clicking and dragging it into that collection set. And I want the other one down here to also go into that collection set. Okay, so now I can collapse that collection set, and it's a good way of kind of saving space over here on the left panel. And when you select this collection set, all the photographs are going to show up here in the preview window. And I can make it more specific by opening up the collection set and then selecting the specific collection. You see, now that you've created a collection, I'm going to go over to the develop module. And now with the later versions of Lightroom, these collections now show up over here in the left panel in the develop module as well as the other modules. So this is a really great way of getting to your collections without having to go back to the library module. All right, so in short, whenever you think of a group of images that belong together, you can create a collection or a collection set so you have easy access to those images at any time, regardless of which module you're in. That's really cool.